What's up, Earth 5D University? How are you guys? My name is JG. I have a tarot channel called Earth 5D, and this is the channel I created to share information with you about the fifth dimension. So welcome. Today we're going to be talking about how the runner-chaser dynamic that used to be present in these divine unions, in these twin flame unions, is no longer here. It's shifted. And just as there's more and more twin flames entering creation, coming to Earth to ignite love, to heal the planet, to create greater consciousness, just as that's happening, these dynamics between the divine masculine and feminine are also changing. So I'm going to use this time to discuss this, and let's get right in, guys. I'm so glad that you're here. If you are here, I feel very much that you are probably called to a divine union. Not probably, I would say 99.9% of you are here for that very, very reason, okay? So there's three things that I've discovered, three phases that I've discovered to these uniting of these unions, okay? So I have noticed that the runner-chaser dynamic seemed to be a runner-chaser dynamic based on the consciousness at that time. But as consciousness is being risen, as a new insight and new awarenesses is coming to the forefront, then there's more knowledge, right? There's more knowledge, there's more awareness, and we can look at these relationships in a little bit deeper levels, okay? So, first phase I've noticed is called the flowering, okay? So in the flowering phase is when you are literally in your energy field, the divine feminine, so it doesn't have to be a female, but whoever's carrying the divine feminine aspect of the connection has an energetic ball. It looks like a seed in their energy field, in their aura, and it hangs out kind of like in this region. And when you meet your twin flame, when you become aware of your divine counterpart, even if you haven't met in the physical, this flower opens, and it's like it looks like to me like a big lotus flower, only it's white. Some of you might see that as pink, but whatever color it is, I see it as this big white opening flower opening right around your solar plex, between your second and third chakra. And it grows, and it's kind of spirals up into like a vine, and it's this big flower that opens up, and that flower is igniting that attraction of the divine masculine. And so the flower is a symbol of an energy that's extremely powerful. All right, guys, this energy is like, you know, you guys have commented, and I know from my channel and working with all of you privately in different scenarios, most of you privately in different scenarios, and just comments and just interacting and doing all the readings on the channel, it's just obvious that when you guys come together, it's an explosion. And so the male energy is kind of like the bee coming to that flower, and it's a dance that you guys are doing. And so that is the awareness that you have this divine union. This is a coming together of the divine masculine and feminine, understanding that you have this union. So that usually blows everyone's minds. So in this phase, it's so beautiful and it's so uplifting that it can almost be painful. You know, when something really good actually kind of hurts too, because you're like just so not used to that high frequency. And it's kind of like when you go out into the sunlight after spending a lot of time indoors, and it's a bright sunny day. It happens all the time in Florida because it's usually so bright and sunny. Not today, but typically it is. So basically, it's like when your eyes just, you come out of a dark room and your eyes are like, whoa, and you kind of can't see, right? You're trying to get your vision back. And that's what happens with these connections. It's like this huge explosion of energy. And so that's the flowering stage, okay? Number two after that is the inner temple work. And that's when both of you go off to your other separate places and you're like, what just happened here? And it opens up layers and layers and layers of vulnerability within you. We spoke about this last time in the last video, guys. I did 2 other videos talking about this, about the twin flame union. The first one was about 5 signs that you have a twin flame or a divine union. The second one was, what's the opposition? Why are you resisting it? And today we're talking about the phases of it and the dynamics of why it's here and what's going to happen with that, like the purpose, your mission with it. So Okay, so back to the inner temple. So in the inner temple, you both go respectively off to the man. Let's say the male energy goes to their man cave. The female energy is like, where did you go? Are you leaving me? You know, it brings up all of these insecurities and vulnerabilities, and that's what it's meant to do. You guys are meant to go in your respective inner temple, and this is where you're kind of like Luke or a Jedi going into the cave, looking at your shadow, doing your shadow work, looking at the areas that are inside of you that need to be healed. And so healing is a part of this. Healing, right? And so in the inner temple work, that's the phase I really do feel like it was called runner chaser. But actually what it really is both people need to go in their inner temple and take a look at what's going on. You know, with the male needs to understand that they can have their feelings and be vulnerable, the male energy. The female needs to understand what self-love and self-care means, not to lose oneself, to learn how to be grounded. These are exercises in finding out who you are, discovering who you are, and holding the consciousness for these very, very special divine unions. Okay, and so that's phase 2. Now 3 is when you come back together, and it's like that heavenly holy union. The union of flames is what I hear. And so when it's the union of flames, everyone's done their work and no one feels as triggered. And in this union of flames, the polarities of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, when you think about it, the polarity involved is crazy. And so in your inner work, in that inner temple, you're slowly learning how to bring it together. You're learning how to make opposites come together in this union. And so each of you are kind of like spiraling here, doing your work, spiraling here, doing your work, and it's emerging of that energy into the union of flames, where you become like this burst of consciousness, where you are lighting up reality in different places on earth. So you can think about it like when when the divine feminine, when the flowering occurs, it's like a spark of light. And think about millions of sparks of light, all these divine feminines opening up around the globe. And so then they go to the inner temple, and then the third phase, and then this union of flames. Now the two of you are getting together and you're just bursting consciousness, just sparking and bursting consciousness out into creation. And that is what heals the planet. And that is the purpose for divine union. So humanity and our sexuality have been extremely broken. You don't need me to tell you that. Look at pornography. Look at how lonely everyone is. Look at how separate so many of us are. We're really hungry and craving for meaningful relationships. So many broken families, so many children who are being abused, so much abuse. That is so not supposed to be, guys. That none of it. Hunger, lack, darkness, evil, suffering, pain, all of that, like, it's so rampant. It's just ridiculous, like how much that's overcome our planet. And so with this 5D energy, I had a viewer on the tarot channel called me, I don't know if it was on Instagram, and she called me Earth 5D Mom. And I like that, because I feel like I'm heralding in this 5D energy for all. So whoever wants to join it. So if you're here, you have a divine union, I'm sure. If this is the third time you're here and you're watching for the third, watching this third segment of this video, definitely, you're interested, you're attracted, you're resonating for a reason. So I always say, like, you can't make this up. Like, you can't make up this type of calling. It's like, who would want to do that to themselves, right? So if you have it, you have it, okay? You have it. You have that seed, and you recognize that seed inside of yourself. And that's what's pulling you forward. All right, guys. So in that final stage, the union of flames, that is where we heal the nuclear family. That is where we heal society. That is where a big burst of light happens to bring light to the darkness, and the darkness scatters and leaves the planet. So this is about healing Mama Earth, okay? So if you guys need help with this, I am starting a course. You can always go to my tarot channel. I do a lot of readings. There's tons of resources there, all for free, where you can do a pick a card reading and discover, do you have a twin flame, and find out, you know, what they're thinking. I do channeled messages, so you can dig into that at Earth 5D University. I'll link it above. Sorry, at Earth 5D, the tarot channel. I'll link that above. And then also, I'm starting a class September 7th, my first online course, teach you about these dynamics, why you have it, go a deeper dive, 3 hours of video instruction. You know, there's going to be PDF worksheets, meditations, most of all healing, guys. That's what I do, is bring this healing through to you guys so that you're able to unite with your twin, so that you're in a place where whatever phase you are in, that you're able to really maximize that phase to get to work through it and then be in that union of flames. All right, guys. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me here at Earth 5D University. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm putting up videos every Sunday, all about awakening, all about consciousness, all about bringing these twin flames together. If you guys have topics that you'd like to suggest, make sure you comment down below. I care about how you feel, and so much love and light. Have a wonderful week, guys. See you next time.